Welcome to No Stats, what we call it, how we see it.
Back again with another one, baby.
Yes, sir, bro. And before we get started on today's topic, man, I just want to let our viewers know to subscribe, like, share. We hitting you with a bunch of content, NBA, NFL, boxing, pretty much all major sports talk. Me and Peach got you covered, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, Peach, what you got for me?
Oh man, I know it's been a day or so, but we got to recap this Nuggets and Heat game 3. My initial pick was the Nuggets will get both of these in Miami. I'm halfway there to getting my tally, but we're not gonna speak too soon. Before we dive in completely, bro, I want to do the usual and hear some of your thoughts on what you've seen in this game 3 and how do you think Miami can be better in game 4?
In game 3, I think Miami went away from what worked in game 2, and not that it worked to perfection, right? Because it was still a close game that Denver could have came out with in Denver, but I thought they kind of limited Jokic's playmaking ability and tried to make him as one-dimensional as possible. And as you know, that didn't happen in game 3. He had a triple-double, 10-plus assists, and we already know what the statistics say when he's playmaking and getting other guys involved. But aside from Jokic, because at this point, I think Jokic is just Jokic. You just expect that. But aside from that, I heard J.J. Redick say Jokic makes Denver a playoff team, but Jamal Murray makes them a championship team, his play. And before the series got started, I asked you, what will happen if Jamal Murray gets Finals MVP? And I know they're going to give it to Jokic. I think it's going to be wrapped up. I don't think there's no way Jamal Murray can get Finals MVP, but the way he's been playing, bro, is just crazy. Jamal Murray's been on a tear, man. He's separating himself and putting him into that category of that elite point guard talk. And I don't think that's deniable at any point, especially if they close this out and he performs like this in the rest of the games. A triple-double for him in game 3.
With the 30 ball, too?
With the 30 ball, bro. 34. I think he's been on a tear. On the Heat side of things, quickly. Jimmy Butler, before the finals started, he trademarked Hemi buckets. You got to get some buckets, Jimmy.
I just said this.
You
have to get aggressive. All that passive shit is just...
Yeah. You can't do that. You got to be aggressive. Kevin Love needs to play a little bigger like he did in game 2. Give me 10 boards, hit some threes. I felt like he was non-existent even though he started in game 3. And the others, Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson, Max Strus. Eric Spoelstra said they're not a three-point shooting team. And I know that's true for the regular season, but throughout the playoffs, when the Heat hit their threes, they win. I know that sounds super black and white, but these guys need to step up, need to make some big shots. Caleb Martin needs to let's get his confidence back because the way he played in Game 7 was huge. I mean, he was a vote away from being the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. So let's get him back into the rhythm of things. And I'm still standing firm. They're splitting in Miami, so Miami will get this one, and we'll go back to Denver tied 2-2.
He got lofty expectations. I'm gonna be honest with you here, bro. I think
it's over.
I think Jimmy will be a more aggressive in game 4, but I do think it's over. If the Heat may surprise us and get one in Denver, which I highly doubt. But I think this is over in 5, bro. It's just I think the Nuggets is rolling right now. The way Mike Malone had these guys focused in this game 3 because of how lackadaisical they played in game 2, and he said something that was like crucial. He said they've won the fourth quarter the last 2 games. He was like, let's win the 4th tonight and let's close out this game 3, because if they close that 4th out, they was already up, they win the game. And I think Denver did a great job from that. And what you got from them as a whole, I don't think Miami has enough to complete with that. Jokic did his usual 30-point triple-double. 30, 21,
20 and 10.
And 10, like, come on.
Yeah.
Then Jamal Murray, 34, 10 and 10. Aaron Gordon had a fucking double-double. Like, and they're winning these games with Michael Porter Jr. struggling.
I was going
Bruce
to bring
Brown
that
hasn't
up.
been as productive. off the bench. But this is
What's
what
the
I
white
was
boy they brought
talking
in?
about.
What's his name?
Christian Brown from Kansas.
Yeah, from Kansas. Yeah, he's
been big. And that's what I was stating before. They drafted him out of Kansas. Then you have vets like Jeff Green that could come in, that could give you that vocal voice, give you those extra minutes. I seen Reggie Jackson make an appearance. He only played 1 minute, but that just shows you how Denver can really go deep into their bench. Miami can't do the same thing. And if Jimmy's not gonna be 35, Jimmy, they have no chance. I think he's being aggressive, as in trying to get others involved, but I don't think it's that aggressive Jimmy that we've seen in the past 3 series that's looking for his shot, that's getting to the free throw line, that's being aggressive like that.
Mm-hmm.
Bam is playing phenomenal. This is by far the best stretch of games. Bam has been phenomenal. Mm-hmm. But Jimmy and Bam can't do it by themselves. Max Strus, you can't fucking be 1 for 7 out there playing 28, 29 minutes. Like you said, Caleb Martin has to get his confidence back. They are missing Tyler Hero. They are missing extra creation, extra scoring, extra grit, extra grind. They are missing that shit right now. And I don't know if they're gonna if they could get back from this, bro. I don't know.
You said 2 things that I wanted to say. One being Michael Porter Jr. Throughout this entirety of the playoffs, I kept thinking he would emerge as that third star. Well, not star, but that third piece after Jokic and Murray, because he has all the tangible things, right? He has the height, he has the size, the length, he can shoot, he can create a little bit, but that's been Aaron Gordon. And Aaron Gordon's been playing phenomenal. So I want to tip my hat to Aaron Gordon because he's taking advantage of the size mismatch in the paint. But another thing, I agree. Jimmy Butler needs to go off. Jimmy Butler needs to be aggressive. And before I say what I'm going to say, why do you think he's not being as aggressive in these final games?
I think it's two things, bro. I think it's the way Denver has been playing him. You may not see it on the stat sheet, but Jokic has been phenomenal in help defense and pick and roll in the drop coverage. And I think they're doing a good job on Jimmy Butler. They're throwing the size on him with Aaron Gordon. So I don't know if that's bothering him a little bit. And then another thing I see, he's like overly trying to keep his team involved and engaged instead of putting his fuck you hat on and saying like, yo, I'm going to get to my spots. I'm going to tip the tide in this game, and I'm going to be aggressive and score the ball. So I think those 2 factor in the way Denver's been playing him. And then I also think that he's just, he's just in that lax mode.
Too focused on getting others.
Yeah, too focused on keeping others involved. And I get it, bro, as a leader, you was in that situation, bro, plenty of times where, sometimes you get lost in trying to keep others happy and trying to keep others, because they got there based on that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody playing together, but I also think that Miami seems like they've lost that grit and grind that kind of got them there. You seen it in game 2, but game 1 and game 3, they haven't played with that same effort that has got them to the championship in the first place. And I think they need to get back to that. But that starts with Jimmy. I think if Jimmy could come out and set the tone in game 4 to where, like, he in that first quarter where he got 12 to 14 points, letting Miami know, like, Miami feeds off that shit. And if you seen, like, when Jimmy's not being aggressive scoring, it trickles down to everybody else. You can't get no consistency from anybody. And the only consistent player that they had in this series is Bam.
I like that. On that note, that's a perfect way to end it, because on that note, along with my Miami Heat Game 4 winning prediction, here's a no stats parlay for you. Miami money line, Jimmy Butler 30 points, and Bam's under.
I like it. 'Cause Bam is
yeah. That was the perfect segue to the parlay.
Oh, man.
I'm throwing on it. So, all right. So you got Denver taking Game 4. It's over in 5-4-1, gentlemen. Sweet.
I think it's gonna be a gentleman's sweep,
You
bro.
said 6.
I think Miami plays harder in Game 4.
Your initial prediction was 6. So we're going to 5 now.
My initial prediction was 6. I wouldn't. If it goes 6, I'll be happy with my initial draw. But the way this is looking, and my initial pick is, I think Denver gets Game 4 as well.
Okay.
I think when you really look at it as a whole, bro. And this is what I want to ask you. I'm going to turn this into a question.
Go ahead.
If you're a coach, bro, how are you game planning for Jokic? And I know you said make him a scorer, but let me get some more. Let me hear some more details on that, bro. Like, what would you do,
bro? I'm putting Jimmy, like similar to what they did in Game 2. I'm putting Jimmy on Jamal Murray. You know how the Lakers matched Jokic's minutes with AD's minutes? I'm doing that with Murray and Jimmy Butler. I need Jimmy Butler on Jamal Murray at all times. As far as the shooters, I'm not completely face guarding, but I'm staying close to shooters. And I'm having Bam or Kevin Love, whatever big body I can put in there, Cody Zeller, I'm having them play Jokic and one-on-one. Jokic is just going to have to every time get the ball and turn into a guy like Embiid, guy like Shaq. He's going to have to be that dominant. I'm about to give you 50 and 20, like 48 and 23 rebounds with 3 assists. You know what I mean? The typical big man numbers. Because he's and that's kind of a credit to Jokic's game, because it's like, how do you stop him? And he can give you the 50 and 20. But my thing is but my thing is having him play make and facilitate and get everybody going. And then Jamal Murray, you look up and he has 35. It's not working. It hasn't worked. And this is why they're 2 games away from being NBA champions. So my thing is, let Jokic. We got to try something, because this team, they're a better team than the Heat, right? I think that's obvious. So we need to make them play. And I said this on our last take. We need to make them play left-handed. Denver is a team that gets guys involved. Jamal Murray, Jokic. He's probably one of the best forget big man passer, the best passers in the NBA, right? So let's take him away from his strongest. Jokic's strongest attribute, his strongest skill set is playmaking. Right? So let's make him play left-handed. Let's take away that number one thing. I got Jamal Murray. Stay glued on the shooters. And Jokic, every time down, you're going to have to just give us buckets every time down. That's what I would do, bro. Because for the simple fact that there's no answers. You can't match up with them.
You really can't. They look helpless out there. And it's like, he has such a soft touch around the rim. Like,
he does.
Hook shot, right hand, left hand.
And bro, the ones with the clock running out, bro, and it's back here. And his flip flops. That's crazy, bro.
Goddamn chocolatas.
Real rap, bro. That's wild, bro. It's wild, man. I think Denver, ultimately will be the NBA champions. I think it's a matter of time. But I'm just putting some respect on this Heat culture. I think they're a gritty team, bro, and this is Peach's words. As soon as you count Miami out,
they remind you again. You hear that, Jimmy? You hear that? Shit, wake us up, man, because damn, we ain't seen Jimmy since the Game 7.
I think you're gonna see an urgent Jimmy though, bro. I think you're gonna see an urgent Jimmy, because if they do lose this game, you got to fly all the way back to Denver.
In that environment,
knowing it's do or die. And they get a chance to close out on their home court. If Denver do win tonight's game, it's over. Denver's going to want to finish it at home, first ever championship for the Denver Nuggets. They want to do it in front of their fans. So I think this is do or die. This is do or die for Miami.
You know how when we did our top 25 and I've been leaning towards Bron as the GOAT. Yo, during this whole playoffs, man, you've been slowly coming up here with young man.
Yeah. I had to, bro. I had to, bro. One thing about me, bro, if I gotta stand on my convictions and my opinions, right? But if I see the facts, if you put the facts right in front of me, and you know how we do the eye test. So what I've been seeing is can't do nothing about it.
It's crazy, man. 10 triple-doubles, man, in this playoff run, man. Man. Yeah. They were just talking about what we brought up, too.
I still think Giannis is the best player in the NBA, but I think Jokic is too.
I can't wait till we do our player ranking going into next season.
Yeah, that'll be nice.